Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Salakia. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I'm going to keep this kind of short. But I noticed, brothers been doing videos on this lady, which I have done a video or maybe a couple of them on her too. The things that she's saying, because I got to give it to her. I haven't watched a lot of her shorts. I haven't watched all of them or videos in general, but the ones I have watched and the ones I have seen, everything she said was on point. Everything she said was 100% correct. And I was listening to another brother do a video on her earlier, and something that he said clicked with me. It clicked with me, especially going into Isaiah 4:1. And of course, as you can see, it's a lot of videos going out about how a lot of men have walked away from trying to date women or just deal with women in general, the modern woman in America. And women are confused as to why. A lot of women are confused as to why. And the ones that's not confused are scared that they will never find a man that they can actually build with or actually be with, just to even be with, But I know it's a quote I have on my phone. It's a quote that says, it goes, you shouldn't go back to toxic people just because you're lonely. You wouldn't drink poison. I have to pull it up. I'll pull up the quote. But, matter of fact, let me do that first. Let's see. I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna make it all make sense in just a second. Let's see. Yeah. Never let getting lonely make you reconnect with toxic people. You shouldn't drink poison just because you're thirsty. And that's a very powerful quote. And a lot of women are experiencing this. They had to connect. They had the option to reconnect with men that they know that they shouldn't be with, or men that they, said that they wouldn't go deal with, because in reality, they can't find a good man, or they can't find someone willing to deal with them. They made so many bad decisions, bad choices, whether they had children or not, or just sleeping around with a lot of men has really damaged them. And they don't even realize how badly it's damaged them. But even outside of all of that, keeping up with the modern way of life, Western way of life, I say it like that, this Western way of life with the superficial things of this culture, as far as it pertains to a woman, valuing her look instead of her character, and valuing trying to make a living on her own, or just valuing the modern relationship instead of understanding what made relationships in the past, in the ancient world, or just, in generations before, what made them work. All those women were feminine and they were submissive. Well, they were more feminine and more submissive, I say it like that. And they understood their place. They understood that they were supposed to be under the man. He is the head. And this is what this woman is going to go into. So a lot of women are starting to realize that even though, they starting to realize that it's not easy to get a good man, and how much more a man of the Lord. Men are standing up, waking up, standing up, and having standards. But the men of the Lord are on a whole different caliber, and that's the type of man that's gonna be able to save you, or that you're gonna get salvation through. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this video. She gonna basically confirm a lot of the things that I was saying, and I'm gonna get about two scriptures like I said, that just made the connection that brought this up from the brother video. And fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm not using your content to make any money. This is strictly for educational purposes, bringing out biblical truth. Fair use, fair use.
I call my husband daddy in the bedroom and sir when he's handling business. I am a wife, I am soft, and I am happier, wetter, richer, and more powerful than 99% of the so-called strong, independent women screaming at me online. Here's why. And the data that will never make you settle for a combative woman ever again. Fact number 1. Women who feel led have 4 times more orgasms. Archives of Sexual Behavior in 2022. This is 15,000 women, okay? Found that women in relationships where the man is the undisputed leader report 4 times more orgasms per week, 70% higher sexual satisfaction, and 3 times more likely to actually initiate the sex themselves. Imagine that. What does this translate to? When she doesn't have to be the man, her body finally relaxes enough to flood. Fact number 2, egalitarian marriages die fastest. A 20-year University of Norway study showed that couples who split chores 50-50 and take turns leading have a divorce rate 50% higher than those where the man clearly leads. Why is this? Because the polarity collapses, the tension dies, and the bedroom gets cold. Fact number 3, masculine leadership creates feminine surrender and insane loyalty. It's as simple as that. When a woman feels her man is fully in charge of direction and protection, her oxytocin, her pair bonding hormone spikes 300%. That is the same chemical that makes new mothers die for their babies. Give her that safety and she will burn cities before she ever betrays you. This is what real submission looks like in my house. He makes the money. I have some side hustles, but when my husband walks through the door, I am barefoot, voice soft, eyes up. I ask, how do you want me tonight, baby? He tells me, I obey. And I fly so high, I forget my own name sometimes because I'm not carrying the whole world. He is. Call it unfair, I call it balance. That's not weakness. It's the smartest trade that I have ever made. Men, stop dating women who hiss at the word submit. They are showing you that they never truly relax around you, that they will never give you that wild, devotional, ride or die love that you are craving. Find the woman strong enough to kneel, secure enough to call you a king without any sarcasm. That woman isn't broken. She is rare. She is peace, and she is the last 10 out of 10 that you are ever going to need. Protect her, lead her, own her, and watch her turn in your entire bloodline into legends. That's biblical, that's biological. That is the cheat code that has been erased. So take it back. I call my husband.
Right. Absolutely right. Nothing, no type of disagreeing with anything that she said. She's telling the truth, you know. But she's speaking to men in general. But as for a man of the Lord, we don't have to find no woman. You know, we don't have to go out and look and search for a woman. The Lord is going to bring the women to us. And this is Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own name and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And I'm going to read it in the AMP because this is where it's going to make this connection. And in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own food and wear and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our shame of being unmarried or being uncovered. Because a man is a covering for a woman, as the scripture said. And I'm finna make that connection. Let's see. Is it showing? Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 5 in the KJV. But every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. Matter of fact, I got to start up. Verse 3. But I might as well start at the top. Be ye followers of me, even as I am of Yahushua. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh. And I'm going to get the definition of the word head. and this is head in the Greek. And it says, going into 2.2, metaphorically, anything supreme, chief, prominent. It says a person's the master or lord of a husband in relation to his wife. Just like Sarah called Abraham Lord, that's her master, that's her Lord. That's the one that's above her. That's of Yahweh Shai, the Lord of the husband and of the church. The church is consistent of men. That's the church. The church is the men. So Yahweh Shai is Lord over the church. He's Lord over the men. He is our master. So for the woman, the man is their master, their Lord. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to keep saying it like that, because women don't like the woman said, they hiss at the word submit, to submit to a man. And submit is also synonymous with servant. That doesn't mean you're a slave. That just means somebody is above you that tells you what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. That's order. And this is the order again. And I'm going to read it in the AMP this time, but I want you to understand that the Yahweh Shai is the head or master or chief or Lord, authority over every man. And man is the head or master or chief or Lord of woman. And the Most High, Yahweh, is the head or master or chief or Lord of Yahweh Shai. Now back in the KJV, verse 4, every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonor of his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonor of her head, for it is even all one as if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. See, that covering is also going into a man. If it's a shame for a woman to be without a covering or without a man, let her come under a covering. Let her come under a man. That's what it's supposed to be. Women weren't created to be single and alone and by themselves and them going about living on the earth independent. It wasn't meant to be like that. Yeah, looking at this from another angle, because this is actually physical, saying that women are supposed to cover their head when you amongst the congregation, and when you praying. But also too, metaphorically or spiritually, you can look at this in another way too. That covering is her head, meaning her man. And if it's a shame for a woman to not have a man, then let her get a man, which is going to be her head. But going back to Isaiah 4:1 in the AMP, and in that day 7 women would take hold of one man. The man is the head or the covering, saying, we will eat our own food and wear our own and provide our own clothes. And in today's time, you have a lot of women who's able to, get their own food and clothing, even though times are going to eventually change to where it's going to be hard for anybody or almost impossible for anybody to do that. Our own, only let us be called by your name, meaning let us be your wife. That's what this is saying. Let us be your wife, because in order to get a man's name, you have to be married unto him. And it's not going to be no American or the modern day marriage. Everything is going back to the way of the ancient. And this man is a man of the Lord. This ain't just no regular man. We understand that true marriage in the eyes of the Lord is sex. That's what marriage is. And each one of the women that's paired up with the man of the Lord, you will have to have sex with him in order to become his wife. So let us be called by your name. Take away our shame. Like it said back in Corinthians, if it's a shame for her to be shaven or without a covering, let her be covered. Let her cover her head. Take away our shame of being unmarried. Now I'm gonna go back to that 1 Corinthians 11 because I need to continue on down. Verse 6 again. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man. See, the woman is the glory of the man. So, let me go down. Where is it at? Yeah, it's down here. In verse 15. But if a woman have long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. And all of this is physical. This is actually talking about your physical hair, you know. And it's also saying that your head should be covered too, you know, physically. But spiritually as well, you're supposed to have a man. And that man is supposed to be your covering, you know. So that's why, I just wanted to make that connection. It's just something that clicked with me when I was listening to the brother and he had got these scriptures and I was, I had thought about that shame, or like it say in verse 1 in the KJV, that reproach. Because eventually it's going to be a reproach. It's going to be hard for a woman to be on her own, because of how bad things are going to be. And how much worse it's going to be. And they're already talking about it's a female lonely epidemic, or a woman's lonely epidemic, where women are just extremely lonely because they can't find a man. And not only can they just not find a man, it's not about finding any man. It's about finding the right man or a good man. But what they really want is a man of the Lord, a lot of them don't know it yet, but a lot of them are starting to realize it, and they can't get them. Only the Lord is going to be pairing up the women that he wants to be with the men of the Lord, But I'm going to cut it off.